Coach, I know in preseason wins and losses don't necessarily matter as much, but how much have you appreciated the progress your guys have made throughout each game as you've gone through the exhibition season?
Well, that's the one thing we keep talking about is how much can we grow? How much can we learn from the previous game? And that Memphis game was a great test of that, what we learned from that first game into the last time that we played them.
As you go into this game against Cleveland, how much of it is trying to weigh out as an exhibition or as a dress rehearsal for the regular season versus still tinkering with some of the lineups?
Well, we talked about it this morning, and we told our guys that they just need to understand it's more going to be about rotation and fits and feels as we move into that first game against Detroit. So tonight will be a night where we just look at some of the rotations, the lineups, guys playing maybe longer minutes or shorter stints, but it's a way to look at that.
Cole was saying earlier this training camp really that he put on some muscle size. Do you feel like he's playing with more strength, like getting to the basket, things of that nature?
He's looking the part for sure. I can definitely say that. Cole is working his tail off, not just in the weight room, but obviously the habits that he has off the court as well. He's done a very good job, and his ability to get to the rim and attack, that's going to continue to show the work that he's put in this summer.
He's obviously kind of a streaky shooter. Obviously, when he's on, I'm sure you just let him go. But when he doesn't have a great night, what are the things you tell him to keep his mind right, to keep him kind of in rhythm?
Well, Cole is an excellent rebounder, and I think he's one of those great rebounding guards that he can get to 8 to 9 a night. Helping our bigs out there on the glass. Other than that, it's just doing the little things, making the simple play, the simple pass, if that shot's not falling. And defensively, you're going to continue to challenge him to take on those other elite guards throughout the league.
Seems like he's been playing more off-ball throughout the preseason. How have you seen him adjust to that role and just being able to, fill in the gaps in that sense?
He's been great. He's learning it more and more, and trying to understand, where he can find the segment that he can maybe come back and get the basketball, or playing in different spaces, and then his off-ball cutting is going to be very big for him as well.
What's the biggest challenge you found with guys when they, maybe be more dominant, ball dominant before, and then they play more off-ball? What's the biggest challenge rhythm-wise for guys when you see that happen?
Well, I think it's just that, finding the exact rhythm, what they need to do when they don't have the ball in their hands. And like I said with Cole, he's done a better job of knowing when to cut, knowing he's not just going to not have the ball in his hands all the time. He gets it on a rebound, and he's obviously pushing the break, but just finding the rhythm with his teammates of knowing when and where to go. And that's going to take some time, but he's doing an excellent job of trying to adjust to that.
Coach, with Bol Bol, what are your conversations with him? What are you asking of him, and what have you seen here now the last month or so?
Well, he's working to learn, the different sets that we're running, and obviously he defines a lot of position lists, because he can handle the basketball, he can take the ball off the rebound and put it on the floor and lead the break. Obviously his defensive mind around the rim, just helping him keep it simple. I think that's the main thing that we want to continue to stress with him. Simple, and when you're out there, just work on your flow and how you read and react off of your teammates.
Did you get a sense from him that this is a clean slate, like a new change of scenery, a great opportunity for him here?
Yes, I really do. He's really enjoying this group. Our coaches have embraced him, and he's just a great young man to be around.
Sounds like Mobley will play tonight. Given his size and ability, what kind of problems does he present for your team?
I mean, he is so skilled. I think he can stretch the floor, puts the ball on the floor. Defensively, obviously, his rim protection. His skill level is very high, and I think, matchups, you tend to find out who you can put on him and who you can't, and he does create that problem. But I think it's a good challenge for our guys to be able to see how we can guard different players of that caliber.
And, looking back at that rookie class last year, obviously, he was a runner-up. Obviously, Cade and Scotty and Franz and Jalen. What have you made of that class? And I mean, there's been some people that say it'll go down as one of the all-time best ones. What have you seen from it so far?
I think it's a really good class. I think we talked about it last year, in that there's a level of joy, there's a level of basketball IQ, there's that the competitiveness in which they play the game. So it's really good to see that class. Best all time, obviously that will remain to be seen, but it's a very good class.
Coach, your year with Robin Lopez, and now he's with Clay. How do you summarize possibly 1 year with Robin Lopez?
It was a great year with Rolo. We will actually watch film in there with the group, and we have to do obviously personnel. And Rolo made the clips, and everybody just kind of got to laughing because they knew he was going over that left shoulder to the right hand hook. But understanding he's probably going to get it tonight because that's what Rolo can do. But he just had such a great spirit about him. His energy, his communication with our guys, his lightheartedness. I think it was just great to have him on board, and it's going to be great to see him tonight.
How would 25-year-old Jamal Mosley guard that hook shot?
I mean, has anybody stopped the right-hand jump hook yet? So 25-year-old Coach Mosley probably wouldn't do much of it either. It'd be a lot of fouls most likely.
Everybody good to go with the Gary, Jalen, Jonathan, and somebody.
Everybody except those crew, yes. Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Talk about your game, last game. How do you feel you kind of implemented yourself, got yourself in kind of a rhythm there, especially down the stretch? Hit a big shot there late in that game.
I feel like the first 3 games, I wasn't really like shooting or being aggressive. So the 4th game, my teammates and my coach pulled me aside and just tell me to be more aggressive, and I think that just helped me.
You talked, I think, a few days ago about how your passing is one of your underrated skills. Do you feel like you've been able to kind of showcase that throughout the preseason?
I feel like a little bit, yeah. I've had some pretty good passes, but as time comes, I think it'll start to show.
What are the things that Coach Mosley's been telling you throughout preseason and training camp as far as what he wants to see from you throughout the rest of, not just preseason, but early in the season as well?
Everything's just really been cleaned up for me, and like a lot of film and spots and where to go and when to cut and when to move. So everything's just really like cleaning up.
How do you view this opportunity? Seems to be a great opportunity. I know the organization thinks highly of you. Just how have the last couple months been, and what do you think of this opportunity?
Very excited. I feel like it's been good for me so far, and I feel like just the more work I put in, the better the outcome will be for me.
And where do you see your role being? How do you see your impact being on this team?
Like just rebounding, blocking shots, length on defense, spacing the floor.
Do you think you have the ability with your handle and your shooting ability to kind of catch people off guard a little bit, or what?
Definitely, because I mean, for my height, not many people can dribble as well as me, so I think people aren't really like looking for that.
How about in the arena? Could you tell when you had your hands on the basketball and the plays you made, the reaction from the crowd? Could you feel?
Definitely, because when I would do something, it would be a little bit louder than most people. So like, I'm sure the fans were excited, and I was very excited as well to hear all the reactions.
Yeah, Bol, sort of on those lines, like whenever, when you're blocking shots or you're dribbling the ball up the court on social media, the reaction seems to be pretty crazy. Like, what have you made, and it's followed you, from Oregon to here, what have you made of that, that reaction from fans?
I appreciate the fans a lot, but like as far as like social media and all that, I'm not even really on there that much, so whatever is on there.
Anybody else?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Cole, I know preseason's not all about wins and losses, but you guys have steadily made progress game by game. How have you felt about your team's growth, and how important is it to carry that over into the preseason finale?
I think the team overall, I think as a unit, we've looked really good. And I kind of think that if we can kind of maintain the current level we're at and just keep building, keep improving off that, we're going to have a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah. How have you felt about gaining in a flow? Obviously, this is your second year with some guys, first year with others. How have you felt that group get into a flow, especially when you're playing with the starting grouping?
With the group of guys we got, honestly, it's pretty easy. No one really cares about who gets the shots, kind of where the ball's going. As long as kind of we are functioning well, the ball's moving, and kind of the ball is dictating who's getting a shot, I think we're doing pretty good. It's been pretty solid.
Well, you've been using more in an off-ball role throughout preseason. Just how's that adjustment been for you?
It's definitely an adjustment. I'm still trying to adjust, but we got some dudes who can, are really good with the basketball, also really good without the basketball. So I just got to fit in and kind of do my part and try to help this team win.
Is getting the rhythm the most difficult part about making that transition?
Yeah, I feel like me personally, I just from what I've observed about myself watching the games, kind of being out there, I've been thinking a lot for just, that's just me personally. So kind of it slowed me down at times, but doing this during my whole life, I'm going to figure it out. And once I get that rhythm, I think it's just going to help the team even more.
Do you have a preference as far as whether you'd rather play the 1 or the 2, or does it not matter to you?
Realistically, as long as I can get out there and help the team win, I don't really care. We got, as I said, we have some dudes who are very capable of handling the basketball as well as myself. So I'm not going to tell them not to handle the ball. I'm going to just, try to play off of them and, help make it easier for them. The same way I hope they do the same for me. Let me say that. Then I know they do the same for me.
Will getting to the free throw line be something you're going to make a concerted effort to try to do this year?
Yeah, I like to think. I think I'm a very good free throw shooter, and I definitely would like to take advantage of getting to that free throw line. And it's also, especially sometimes, when the shot's not falling, getting that free throw line is a great way to help yourself get rhythm. So I think I definitely will be looking to try to draw more fouls this year.
For you heading into the season, what are in your third year? What are some of the things you're trying to see from yourself in terms of growth in your game and maybe on the court or off the court?
I'd say the biggest thing for me is going to be just maintaining a level of consistency. That's just kind of been my main struggle. Is kind of whether it's playing well and then not playing well, or playing not well, not playing well, getting hurt, like just being able to be consistent and just kind of have that carry throughout the whole entire season, and then also just just continuing to get better defensively for me. That's another thing I think that I've made a lot of strides in. I think I will continue to make strides in.
And you said numerous times how much you put work in with your body, diet, gym. How much will that help you this season, as you mentioned, stay healthy and not maybe get those ticky-tack injuries?
I mean, you said it right there. That's literally the reason why I've kind of, changed my diet, started taking my body more seriously, is that I don't get those ticky-tack injuries. I can be on the floor and help my team as much as I can, just be available as much as possible.
What are those diet adjustments you made? Anything specific as far as
Man,
nutrition?
just a lot of getting a lot of for me, it's been a lot of protein, a lot of carbs, and then also just adding in a lot of greens, whether it's green smoothies, fruit smoothies, and being consistent with that every single day, eating 3-4 meals a day, just making sure I replenish the body and take care of my body as much as I can.
Is there a total amount of calories you try to consume?
I don't have a calorie total. I don't have all that stuff right now. I'm not a bodybuilder, but kind of for me, just making sure I'm consistently getting those meals. That means waking up in the morning a little earlier, getting breakfast and kind of jump starting my day like that. Just trying to make sure that I'm consistent with all that. Just it all comes back to consistency for me. So consistency off the court translates to consistency on the court.
What's your go-to protein, by the way?
Shoot, I've been doing this a lot of turkey, a lot of steak, a lot of grilled chicken, and then that's really it. And then I kind of in my smoothies I'll throw some protein in there. Just kind of, you can call that the bodybuilder protein. I don't know, but just some good protein just for that.
How much are you taking advantage of the kitchen and the new amenities here at the practice facility?
I mean, I don't know if y'all know this. I'll be here. I mean, yesterday. What was yesterday? We had practice, man. We had practice at 11. I was here until about 3:30, and then I'll get here early too. So I mean, I'm here like 6-7 hours a day realistically. So I'm taking full advantage of it, getting the lift in every day. Haven't been taking advantage of the kitchen as much as I can because I currently have my chef living with me. Got a chef now. He's about to move into his apartment, but he's been awesome. He's been big shout out to my chef. He's really helped me kind of just start taking my nutrition very seriously.
What's your chef's name?
We'll call him Chef Jeff. Chef Jeff. That's his name.
Chef Jeff.
No further information shall be leaked out. Cool.
You got one more, George. You good?
You good?
Ask one more. Sorry, go back to basketball. You talked about your off-ball play and how it's been. You got a more improved role in that this year, more involved role in that. Franz on Pod Squad yesterday, he talks a lot about European style of basketball and decision making, playing off the ball, setting screens, backdoor cuts.
Yeah.
How much has he helped you in kind of figuring out how you can utilize your ability the best off ball this season?
Well, I mean, watching Franz, I mean, he's a phenomenal player with the basketball and just as phenomenal player without the basketball. So I mean, he's a dude I watch a lot, just kind of, just to see kind of how he operates with and without the basketball. I mean, I think last year that was the thing that stood out earlier this season was how good he was without the basketball. Just he knows how to cut at the right time, a really good screener, just a really high IQ basketball player. So I'm just, trying to channel my inner Franz a little bit, trying to, do that a little bit. But it's something, I really haven't done much a lot, honestly, my whole career playing basketball. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment. But, it's something that I'm willing to do, and it's something that I think I could be very good at.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes, sir.